Good morning, this is Brian. Today is Wednesday, September 11th, 2024, and I'm here at Black Mountain Park here in Rancho Penasquito / Rancho Bernardo area of San Diego. It's time for a Trees of San Diego episode. Today I want to focus on this small tree here, and this is water gum, Tristaniopsis laurina. This is a small evergreen leaf tree in the Myrtle family, the Myrtaceae, and it's native to Australia. And like a lot of Australian natives, they tend to do well here in Southern California. Climates are similar, or at least amenable enough to grow these. Now this tree here is not extremely commonly planted here, but I do on the occasion come across it. Apparently this bird is really enjoying its time in it. Very handsome young bird right there, beautiful bird. Enjoying hanging out in the branches and boughs of this lovely small tree. So, water gum, native to Australia. So what do we got going on here? We got this really small tree with relatively smooth bark that does peel roughly every year as the trunk expands. So generally smooth, peeling bark later on during the year. And very small size. It's a very small tree. I'm not sure how large it gets in its native Australia, but here I've never seen this tree more than maybe about 25 feet tall. Very small tree, very humble size. Nice little street colonnade tree. Perfect for small areas. You just can't go wrong with it. This one might be a little bit struggling a little bit. It looks like it's had some branch dieback here and there, but there are really not a lot of these trees around here, at least not that I've seen firsthand, to film. And this is actually fairly typical for what I see planted around here, because these are usually pretty small trees. So what we have here are these leaves. These trees kind of look like laurel leaves, and that's why the name laurina means laurel-like, or laurel. Yeah, laurel-like in Latin. The leaves are kind of like bay laurel leaves a little bit. Kind of small. Maybe about 3 to 4 inches long. Medium green. A little bit of a yellowish color on the underside. And you get these kind of small green to reddish twigs, and then you get the typical smooth bark, and just a nice little tree, just for narrow sidewalk areas, maybe small gardens. Perfect for that. And again, this is in the Myrtle family, Myrtaceae, so it's related to our much more commonly planted eucalyptus trees. The eucalyptus trees are related to these. And there's another relative of this tree that's very commonly planted here in San Diego and in Southern California, which is the Brisbane box, aka brush box in Australia, which is Lophostamen confertus, and was formerly known as Tristania conferta. And this is Tristaniopsis. So Tristaniopsis means like Tristania. And Tristania conferta used to be the name of Brisbane box before it became Lophostamen. So I'm going to go just take a couple pictures of the form of this tree, the bark, and then we'll start talking about the flowers and seed capsules of Tristaniopsis laurina. So being in the Myrtle family, has a lot of common characteristics of the Myrtle family. So what we have here are these small 5-petaled flowers with lots of branched stamens sticking out. Stamens stick out about five sets of stamens sticking out, and they're kind of branched off into the pollen carrying portions of the plant. yellow 5-petal flowers that you have to get a little up close to really appreciate, but they're noticeable and they're actually quite attractive. The attractive part of this tree are these 5-petal flowers. Like I said, they're small, so you have to kind of get up close to really see the details. It's really small 5 yellow petals, and then when the petals fall off, you're left with kind of a star-shaped receptacle that will turn into the seed capsules. And like in Myrtaceae, a lot of the plants bear seed capsules as their fruit, and this is no exception. So the seed capsules are these small 3-chambered structures that start off fleshy after being pollinated. You see they're kind of greenish yellow, not ripened yet. And then they turn into these 3-chambered seed capsules that split open and release really tiny seeds to start a new generation of trees. And look at how densely packed the seed capsules are. You see here, lots and lots of tiny seed capsules. And you notice that they are very, very densely packed together and grouped together. So those are the seed capsules of Tristaniopsis laurina. Let me get a couple more pictures and we'll finish off this video. So once again, Tristaniopsis laurina, perfect for small spaces, pretty small tree. Like I said, I've never seen them much larger than this. I tend to see these more planted where I was living in North Orange County, especially in the city of Anaheim. They used to have them lining the streets near this one park called Twyla Reed Park. Used to see them lining the streets there and also near Western High School. There's a little row of these growing along there, and occasionally I would see them on other streets too. And I've only come across this a couple times here in the San Diego area. So that's why when I came across this one today, it was time. It was flowering, had seed capsules. It just had to get a Trees of San Diego episode on this tree. Had to do it today. I'm going to go over to another small one over on the other side of the park before I finish this video and show you one that's kind of struggling. Alright, so this one's struggling here. This is one right here too. This one's really struggling. They don't tend to be extremely vigorous trees, at least in my experience. So this tree might need to be irrigated a little bit more than your typical trees, I think, but I don't have a lot of experience with this tree, but definitely have seen it enough to know that it's what it is. And unfortunately this one doesn't seem to be doing so well, but I do want to end up just showing another one here. It's the only other one I think is in this park, but I think that's going to about do it for this episode of Trees of San Diego. I hope you enjoyed this one and hope you found it informative and helping identify another ornamental tree found in the San Diego area and in Southern California. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on another episode of Trees of San Diego.